All right. Welcome to my show. So today we are going live on YouTube. That's amazing stuff here. Okay. I have never really done it live, but today is the first time. So there's always a first time, right? Sure. So let's talk about the values of homes. So we're going to share with you what's happening in the world of real estate. World of real estate. So um, first of all, this is the first time that values have dropped since 2011. We've seen a decrease in the values of homes since 2011. The biggest drop since 2000. Okay, in the worst month or the second worst month, July month since 2000, 1991 actually, since 1991. So it's amazing stuff that this is happening. Okay, and let me share with you some of my own personal experience that I have seen. I am in escrow right now on a property in Union City, California, and this property was listed for 900 and 25,000 dollars. $925,000 in Union City is almost unheard of. This is a single family residence with I would say, what is this? 6,000 square foot lot. 6,000 square foot lot. This is for $925,000. It needs a little bit of work, not too much work, just a little bit of work. It was a price. And then it went down a little bit. They dropped it because they couldn't sell it at a price. So they dropped it a little bit. And so we picked it up we made an offer for 900, I mean, actually $850,000 and requested a 3% seller credit. Okay, we didn't get it. I mean, we got the offer accepted at $850,000, but with a $10,000 credit. My client, who has been looking for a house for a long time, and I think that was the second house that I showed him. He just fell in love with it. No point to buy a condo, no point to buy a townhome. He has a single family residence in Union City in a good neighborhood. Nothing wrong with it. And it's 3 bedrooms and 2 baths and just amazing stuff. So, because he wanted 3% back in closing costs, so we increased the price to $870,000, okay, and ask for 3% closing costs. That's amazing stuff, okay? So, and this guy could buy this property with absolutely no money out of his pocket, little or no money out of his pocket. How is that possible? Of course, you can get a gift letter, okay? You can get a gift letter to buy this property. You can also have what they call Kalhafa, right? Kalhafa just needs about actually zero out of his own pocket, absolutely zero out of his own pocket, and could buy this property. Okay. And so that's what's trending right now. And in San Jose, we're in escrow right now on a property that was listed for $1.6 million. $1.6 million. We're in escrow for 1.470. That's a whopping $130,000 drop in price. $130,000 drop in price. Isn't that amazing? Okay. And it's also amazing that because San Jose has experienced the biggest drop, right? Among the top countries, not countries, the top, I would say, cities. You have San Jose, you have Seattle, you have San Diego, you have San Francisco, you have Denver. They've all experienced a big drop, a huge drop in prices. That's amazing stuff. So are we going to see some correction? Yes. Is that people are saying, experts are saying that you should expect between 5% and 25% drop in prices. And what happened this week is that the Fed, because they want to tame inflation, right? They want to tame inflation. They're going to keep increasing the interest rates. So typically, let's talk about what caused the market to go up so much, okay, especially in 2021. 2021 and 2022, the first a few months of 2022. So during the pandemic, a lot of people were not selling their homes, right? People were not selling their homes. Uh, and people are not going to work. Again, people working out of their homes. So the pandemic actually caused a lot of shaking, right? That it changed the paradigm of work. Telecommuting that's been around for some time actually not changed. So telecommuting became a thing that a lot of people want to do. Okay, a lot of people want to do, and people are not wanting to live in condos anymore and things like that, but they wanted to buy homes like single family residences and create little rooms, offices at home. And it became a trend. People are working that way now. Some people are saying that they become more effective, even more effective, working that way than otherwise. Okay, so that's very good. So because the demand was very high for housing and the interest rates were very low, right? Demand very high, interest rates very low, supply very low. So demand, the only thing that was high was demand. Interest rates were low, supply was low. I mean, if you have that, okay, of course, what's going to happen to the prices? Demand is high, so the price is going to be high. Interest rates low, supply is low. So that's what happened here. And I think next time I gotta have a pen to write on so that you can have this live uh, YouTube shows. And so that's what happened. Then inflation came about, and it took the government by storm. Okay, inflation came, and it took the U.S. government by storm, and it went really crazy. So one way to actually know that inflation is really bad is like, I mean, two things I like. Okay, not two things. I love a lot of things, but a few things that I want to talk about. So I love oxtail, and oxtail used to be a few years ago $12. Same thing, right? Same size, same portion, blah blah. You go to Branch 99, the Chinese supermarket, and it's what? It's $12 a portion, a pack. And um, then I went there. I went to what's this place? Costco. Costco. Sometimes you go to Costco, think you're getting the bargain, but you're not. I saw oxtail at Costco like 30 something dollars, and I go to the Chinese Ranch 99, and it's also too high. I couldn't believe it, 30 something dollars. And so it went from $12 to 20 something dollars. Okay, $18 now to 20 something to 30 something dollars. That is just crazy. And we saw the same thing. Unagi, that's another thing I love to have. I would like that unagi is eel over rice. And every time I go to a Japanese restaurant, I want to order that, you know, except if I like bento box. Instead of bento box, I can go for that. And guess what happened? Okay, last time I checked, the thing was $28. $28. So from $16 in some stores or some restaurants to $18 now to $28. So inflation has gone crazy and it will keep going up. Inflation in housing, inflation in food stuff, and inflation in gas prices. As you saw, I mean, they've gone down a little bit. Gas prices have gone down a little bit because of the Russian war. They went really high and then they come down a little bit. That's what happened. Okay. So, so the government to make sure that, I mean, what's the worst enemy? Is it inflation or is it a recession? What do you prefer? High prices going up, going crazy, 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 and you're not taming it, versus, okay, drop everything, let everything be stagnant. Okay, we know that employment is still very high, so people are not losing their jobs, although some companies are laying off people, like Tesla did. Okay, however, it's better for you to lay off people because they can get unemployment than to have prices just keep going crazy. And the way to stop that trend is what? Is, of course, to increase the interest rates. So we've seen interest rates jump from less than 3%, like I'm talking about FHA, even conventional loans, remember refinancing on people, and now gone up to 6% at some point. Okay. And then gone down a little bit to 5 point something, upper five level. Okay. So you need to increase that. And the Fed is going to increase that more, right? To bring down prices. And so what's happening, I don't see that happening in the food arena. Okay, because go to restaurant, they're gonna drop their prices. Okay. Costco is not dropping their prices, Rancho and I are dropping its prices. Okay. But I see gas prices going down and housing going down a little bit. So that's why in the next few uh, months and even a year or so, you're gonna see an increase in the interest rates, and you're going to see a decrease in property values. Okay, there's something I want to share with you today. And my show is about, I always like to do what? To enrich, actually, to educate, to enrich, and to empower. I'm not a news channel. I am not a news channel. I could tell you what's happening and how to take advantage of things that are happening. So, last, if you haven't listened to my show, uh, radio show, last week I talked about, actually here on the YouTube channel, it's also here because whatever I do on YouTube channel, it's also broadcast on radio. Okay, so last week I talked about the 6 paths to financial freedom. 6 paths to financial freedom. Path number one is to find something that you really, really, really love to do, something that you really, really love to do, and become so good at it. Okay? Something you really, really love to do, become so good at it. Because if, for example, Stephen Curry loves to do what? Play basketball, right? And that's the only thing that he knows how to do very well. I'm sure he does know how to do other things like he plays golf. But basketball is a thing for him. Maybe golf is not the thing for him. He's not going to make his wealth out of that. It's something that he loves to do, but not what is going to bring him happiness, the most happiness. But what is going to bring him the most happiness is basketball because he becomes so good at it. And basketball now feeds his family. Basketball now gives him the platform. Basketball gives him joy and a legacy. The guy's name is imprinted in the annals of history. It's indelible. It's never ever going to be wiped out. So he's made a name for himself. It's a household name for most sports fans. Okay? So you do what you really, really love to do and become so good at it. Do what you really, really love to do and become so good at it. For example, for me, I love to share. I love to share. So that's why you see me here. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I just got to do it. I feel it. So I got to become so good at this stuff, sharing. Okay. And now you have social media. And I see a lot of people make a lot of money on YouTube, this channel, and other channels. So I have to be very good at this thing. Okay. And giving information. So it's not just good at this channel, it's not just broadcasting stuff. It's not just telling you about what's happening, but it's just how can I use this channel to educate, to enrich, and to empower, to educate, to enrich, and empower. What is my goal? What's my mission? What's my goal? What's my mission? Okay. So I want to be able to educate, enrich, and empower. And thank God you have social media. Actually, you have a proliferation of social media. You have this YouTube channel, you have Facebook, you have LinkedIn, I mean, and all the channels out there, live streaming, it's just a proliferation of this stuff. But use it to your own advantage. So find something that you really love to do, become excessively good at it. That means excellent. Be obsessed about it and let people know this is what your one thing, your one thing. You see, your one thing. And we use the media, right? So become so good. If it's basketball, become so good at basketball. If it's sales, become so good at sales. If it's preaching, become so good at preaching. If it's helping people as a doctor, become so good as a doctor. If it's whatever it is, whatever you feel that you're calling, okay, a purpose-driven life. Purpose-driven life. That's what's important. So, guess what? Right? So that is one aspect. Become so good at what you feel is your calling, and you are going to have the wealth, whether the wealth of happiness or the wealth of in terms of money, because money is important. Okay, money can pay bills, but money can give you luxury. You can go on luxury cruise. You can help people around the world. You can have your house paid off. You don't have any debt, right? So become so good at what you do and monetize it, monetize it, monetize it, monetize it. Okay, number two, I talked about, and show is not about this today, but I thought I should revisit that. Okay, I already gave you a brief of what's happening in the real estate industry, and I'm gonna come back to that. But I want to go back to what I shared last week. Okay, so become so good at what you do, and so that people need you more than you need them. Okay, okay. So, for example, basketball is going to resume in October, right? And this guy's going to play for another seven. They're going to play like 70 games or more. Okay, more than 70 games, right? And the fans are going to be there. They won the championship last year. Okay, and they're coming back as champs. And the thing is that the amazing thing is that when you become so good at what you do, right? I mean, the world conspires to see you succeed even more. When you succeed, the whole world conspires to see you succeed even more. Okay, so that's important. Um, and I think that's why maybe I shouldn't have live shows, because it's more effective if I reproduce, I produce, okay, and then I can edit and people can see effectiveness. But today is the first time I'm doing this live, okay, and I might not be doing live a lot because you want to do live when you're interacting with people, right? And maybe sometime down the road, I'm gonna do that. Okay, we're gonna use this channel. Okay, and so we talked about what? We talked about, and then also, if I don't do live, I can have my ads, okay, have my messages. But today's the first time we're doing this, okay? It's always good, okay? Until I build an audience, maybe I could do a Facebook, because Facebook I can invite people. Okay, on YouTube, I don't invite people, because if you don't have many people, what's the point? Okay, okay, so that's good. I am going to, yeah, the second thing is basically get this shattering idea, right? So you, like Mark Zuckerberg did, like YouTube did, I mean, YouTube, yeah, YouTube guys did. Okay, and no, I know YouTube guys. YouTube guys, they actually had the money because this sold PayPal. Okay, and talk about, like, okay, Mark Zuckerberg. Let's take that as a classic example. The guy came, they have a lot of money. His parents are okay, right? But he had a big idea, a fat idea. And the fat idea was what? To do great things in the world and to change the world in his own way. Okay. And so he moved from the East Coast to the West Coast, pitched an idea to Microsoft. That's the one that I remember very well. Pitched an idea to Microsoft. Microsoft gave him 250 million in exchange for what? 5% ownership. So he took that. Microsoft, number one, giving me this money. So from day one, his company worth quite a bit. Okay. Then he takes that idea and pitches it to Peter Thiel and other people, other investors, VCs, and they also gave him money, right? So they gave him money, and before he realized, he created a big company, and the guy is financially free. The guy's changing the world. He has so many properties, and maybe even a jet. I'm sure he does. Okay, He has so much money. It's a multimillionaire, and it's only in his 30s. Okay? And here you have people who are in their 60s, people in their 50s working for him. Wow. That's amazing. So, number one is find something you really love to do and become so good at it, and you're set. Okay. Number two, have a great idea, right? And pitch your ideas to some VCs, venture capitalists, and you're good, like Marcus Zuckerberg. Number three is basically you have an earth-shattering, idea also, which is what? For example, the guy that started uh, YouTube, not YouTube, Uber and Lyft. Can you just have an earth-shattering idea? They were talking in somewhere in Paris, and they said, "Man, why am I waiting for a taxi? How about?" And they see all cars passing. Cars are passing. Cars are passing by. Each one of those cars could be the cars are not full of people, right? The cars are not full of people. And hey, what if each person here could have the chance of actually earning extra money? Okay, and that's what they did. Okay, that's what they did. They came back and said, "Hey, let's start this idea," and that's how Uber was birthed. And now we have people in their private cars; they can go and make money at leisure. But the key thing is that these guys created that idea. They don't own any cars. They don't own any cars. They just basically own the idea, and people bought into the idea. Okay, disruptive idea. Have a disruptive idea that is going to change the world, right? Number one, be so good at what you do, right? That means find something that you really want to do and become excellent at it. If it's playing the piano, if piano becomes second nature to you, right? And then let's say you're waiting at an airport, and some airports right now have the piano, and you just go, you just play. Oh my goodness, you mesmerize people with your skill. Guess what's going to happen? You are never going to be broke in this world. Number two is basically be like Mark Zuckerberg, have a great idea, and then pitch it, and people buy the idea, invest in your idea. Pitch it with passion. Okay. Number three is, you have this disruptive idea that everybody can benefit from, just like the Uber guys, just like the Airbnb. The guy that started Airbnb doesn't have to own anything. It was always existing. Those houses were already existing. Those cars were already existing. It just had an idea. You listen to this, maybe you have an idea that can disrupt stuff. And then people are not, okay, somebody has to come in. Maybe it's you. Okay, next one is basically you can find a franchise. A franchise. There's so many franchises. You can buy a franchise or start one yourself. Buy a franchise that's already existing. Okay, it doesn't have to even be your money. You have great credit. You can get an unsecured line of credit. Okay, unsecured line of credit, and go buy that franchise. Right? You go just now, go Google and say like successful franchises, and you can find some consultant who's going to help you with that idea, right? To find the best franchise. So you don't have to work. We're talking about financial freedom, the paths of financial freedom. So you can do that. Okay. The next idea is what? That you can go buy properties. Buy properties, right? Buy investment properties that people can rent from you, whether it's individuals or businesses can rent from you. And guess what? It does not even have to be your money. It does not have to be your money. Because if you basically get a property that maybe makes sense, and you go get that unsecured line of credit, you can put only 15% down, and you can buy as many properties as you can, and you don't have to pay for it. Can you imagine that? And have other people paying for you, whether it's commercial people or consumers, right? Whether it's businesses or owner-occupied properties. Okay? Well, not owner-occupied. I'm talking about consumers occupied tenants, right? Consumers occupying your properties. There's another path there. Then the other one that I talked about last week was we talking about this. Okay, you can actually don't reinvent the wheel though. It's never If you live in America, I don't care where you listen to this, right? I don't care whether you're in Africa, some poor country, and you're watching this or listen to this. You can see what is already working. Sales, sales. Okay, find something that people really need, something that people need, and somebody else is selling that stuff. Find something that people really need, and someone who is already selling that stuff. Let's say, for example, okay, that thing is already successful in a different part of the country, right? Go around, spend some time. Something's successful in another part of the country, but is not in your part of the country yet, or some other part of the country that you could. Why don't you just ask that person who's successful already and say, man, I want to help out. I want to help out and I want you to help me. I can see how successful you are here because people have limited time. Okay? Then you take that idea, become an extension of that person in that other part of the country. He's already successful here, become successful there too. Human needs are the same. Doesn't matter where you are. Okay? So you take that idea and take it over there. Right. So that is, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. It's already working. Somebody's already proven it. It's like coming to America and all the roads are paved. If you come from a third world country, maybe you have to walk to school and the shoes will rot. Okay? But you come to America, you don't even have to walk to school. The roads are all paved. And everybody has a car or take public transportation. And there are different kinds of public transportation. Or nowadays, take Uber. In third world countries, you don't have that. Okay? But you have that in America. So find something that's already working. So I'm going to bring that idea to you. Since what we have here, we'll offer something for you. You don't have to go too far. We'll offer something for you. So I started a company called Triangle. And Triangle is basically what? Triangle is you have real estate is always a tip of that triangle. Real estate. Okay, I know real estate like the back of my hand. Whether it's wholesaling, it's flipping, it's sales, or whatever. Can give you that knowledge. Okay? And all right, that's sales. We can help you close 3 transactions a month. Okay? Imagine if each transaction is averaging $10,000 a month and $10,000. That's $30,000. And if your split with us is at 70%, let's say, then you're getting $21,000. Now, we don't want you to produce only based on your own efforts. That's not the goal to find. That's not the path to financial wealth. We want you to build a system. Like the word build, we have a system, and your system is going to be within our system. So we're going to help you build that. So what is that? What does that look like? Okay, we'll call it 333. So let's say you have a real estate license or you aspire to have one. Okay. But we're actually offering 3 things before I go into the details. So the first one is real estate. You say, I want to get a real estate license. Great. You can get a real estate license. Second one is a mortgage. So we have a mortgage company. The money market. And actually, the money market show is sponsored by the Money Market Inc., which is our mortgage company. So you can decide to be part of the money market, right? And get your mortgage license. And the third thing is you can now have insurance. Okay, offer financial services. Because guess what? The first thing that people want to do when they have any sort of money, or even sometimes they don't have any money. Like I said, we help somebody buy a property without any money out of his pocket. Okay, it's real estate. They want to have their own property. They want to acquire their own American dream. So that's it, real estate. Second thing is, okay, mortgages. What fires real estate? What helps them accomplish that goal is mortgage. So they need a loan. And the third thing is, once they have that loan, okay, they're going to have hazard insurance to protect that asset in case there's a fire. Okay, Next thing is basically what? They need to have what? Okay, what if they were sick and they can't work or they lose their job? Okay, what do they need? They need mortgage insurance. Okay, they need long-term care. And what if they were to die and let's say they owe $1 million on that property? What's going to happen to the spouse, the surviving spouse? It's in an environment where market values are dropping. That property will upside down, might be upside down. They put 20% down on our property. So they're gonna lose that, right? But not so. We have to protect that. So give them life insurance. Okay, life insurance, okay, whether it's term life or it's IUL or a whole life. Okay, and we can go into details. So, what you got to do, some people are doing exceptionally good in these three arenas. So, all you got to do is join this franchise. Join this franchise, what we're doing here. Remember, I said one thing is you go buy a franchise, go and buy a McDonald's franchise. Good luck with that. If you have $1 million, okay, or could buy a Wendy's, or could buy Burger King, okay, or Subway. You still gonna be working. That's good. Okay. Or you can decide to join us, find out what we have here, and join this ecosystem. Right? We're gonna help you build your system, your franchise with little or no money at all. All you need is if you're already licensed as a real estate person, as an insurance person, or as whatever, mortgage person, all you need to do is plug into what we have. You plug into what we have, right? And you can do well. Okay, you understand? So you don't have to reinvent the wheel at all. You just got to plug into what we have and you do well. Okay, this is guaranteed. All right. All right. So today I talked about the state of the real estate market, and I talk about I reviewed the path to financial freedom. This is what we talked about last week. Okay. So thank you for watching this. If you like it, please subscribe to the channel. But that's not just what we're not just wanting people to subscribe to the channel. Okay. We're not just like, okay, how many views, whatever. That's not the most important thing. It's like, are we impacting your life? Are we impacting your life? Are you gaining anything from what we're sharing here? Are you gaining? Did you get something today? Did I do a good job today to share with you what we have here? Okay. The goal for me in life is what? To educate, to enrich, and to empower. And we want to build a big company here in Silicon Valley so it can help more people in the world, especially the poor. See, I come from a poor country and my heart is still there. And people call me all the time asking for money, for help. These are genuine needs. So I want to be able to help them. Okay. And to be able to do that, I got to be very good at what I do, which is sharing knowledge, which is educating, which is enriching, which is empowering. And I hope you, if you're in America and you're watching this, I hope that you are empowered today. Okay, I don't just want to. I'm not like KTVU or CNN just talk about news. No, it's not about that. I want to use the media to educate, to empower, and to enrich, to educate, enrich, and empower, to give you some tools, give you the knowledge, what I've gained here, and to give you an environment where you can succeed. This is Paul LeJoy. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time. You can. By the way, if you have any questions, you can call me at 415-510-0127, 415-510-0127, or you can email me. Okay, you can go to LeJoy at themoneymarket.us, LeJoy at themoneymarket.us. You can go to our website if you want to learn more about these things, especially with things we're doing. Go to themoneymarket.us, themoneymarket.us. By the way, you might have somebody who's looking to buy, sell, or refinance. Somebody wants to learn how to invest, please don't keep me a secret. Let them go to our website, themoneymarket.us. For those who want to invest or want to know how to invest, go to RER, that's R as in Robert, E as in Edward, R as in Robert, dot solutions. Okay? for those of you who want to know how to invest, whether it's in wholesale, flipping, land development, all those things, that's where it is. RER the solutions. If you want to have a loan, or you want to buy real estate, or you want to do anything relating to mortgages, please go to the moneymarket.us. Thank you for watching this, Paul LeJoy.